Hi everyone, meet Shelby, my biggest critic and quite the diva. She's unimpressed by me. She is a Sheltie or Shetland Sheepdog, and she actually is an ex-show dog. So she's pretty used to being handled and groomed. However, sometimes I do still have to ask, Shelby, why are you like this? Okay, all jokes aside, she's, like I said, super well behaved, ex-show dog, used to being handled. However, I do have to say, I don't know what it is with Shelties, and you guys can let me know if you have any different experiences, but they always seem pretty judgy. Look at her, she's just glaring at me. But anyways, so I don't really see their personalities come out until I see them around their pet owners, and even then, it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm always trying to impress a Sheltie, but I never feel like I do. Like a Miranda Priestly, if you will. But anyways, this video is just an overview of my grooming process with her. Right now I'm grinding down her nails. Like I said, super well behaved, angelic, and amazing. Now she does get a special shampoo. Probably won't be able to tell the label from the video, but it's a sea mineral shampoo because, well, Shelby's special, so she gets a special shampoo. Now off to torture her in the bathtub. So I do pre-mix my shampoos, and I do sometimes mix up a conditioner with a special concoction of my own design, although Shelby is never impressed. With that being said, here I am going and giving her a bath. She gets a good de-shed as well, so good scrub down. And you're not going to get to see too much of it because I did cut a little bit of it out, but the sea mineral shampoo does stay on her for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on if her skin needs it more or less. Sometimes she gets little weird allergy flare-ups. Also, I'm short. Don't judge the fact that I had to get my step stool. So anyways, here I am rinsing her off, about to apply the conditioner, my little special concoction. And she's handling it like the pro she is. And it's conditioner time. And I am using some special gloves. They are a little bit tougher than the ones normally used by groomers, but because she's so thick-coated, this is what helps really get down to her skin without having to do extra scrubbing or waste a whole lot of product. It also helps distribute everything really well. So I really like using these tougher gloves on her. And then I do switch over to these softer gloves for her face, and I usually wash the face last so that I can soap up the face and then immediately rinse it off so we don't have any issues with any shampoo or product getting in her eye and staying in her eye. And then of course the rinse off, which does take a few minutes because again, she's just really thick-coated. Although you probably can't really tell from this distance, but look at her, she's like about to fall asleep. So, you know, she acts like she is unimpressed by me and absolutely despises my existence, but I would argue she's doing pretty okay right now. She seems pretty relaxed, and I handle her quite gently. She's very, very sweet, and I want to keep a good relationship with her, even though she does hate me initially for pickup, but at the end of the day, she knows she gets treats at the end of it, so she tends to hate me a little bit less by the end of the appointment. And as always, it's really good to follow up a great bath with a really decent towel dry. The more you towel dry, the less time you're going to end up spending with regards to drying with the velocity dryer, and the less that you have to velocity dry, the better. It's just really loud and stressful for some of these pets. But like I said, Shelby is a showgirl. She knows what the business is like and does not care. And well, okay, she cares a little bit right now. She's very upset with me, but come on, Shelby, love me. What can I do to win your love? I don't think there's much, but anyways, so good towel scrubbing, and then I go ahead and spray her with a special leave-in conditioner and some perfume. I do like to do perfume before the dryer as well as after the dryer because it helps it set in a little bit better. And now I'm going to dry her in the tub because she does shed quite a bit even after a good scrubbing. So to try to minimize a whole lot of mess, I initially start drying in the tub. You didn't get to see it very well beforehand, but I did put cotton balls in her ears. The velocity dryer is very loud, and that's why I'm wearing hearing protection, and so I'm not gonna force her to listen to it at full volume either. So she does have cotton balls in her ears to protect her hearing. Now it's going to be time to move her over to the table so that I can finish drying her. I can't finish drying her in the tub because the tub is still wet on the bottom. So if I try to keep drying her in the tub, the water will just kind of splash back up. So once I get the top of her dry and most of her sides and a lot of those thicker parts dry, then I can go ahead and move on to drying her on the table. Again, very unimpressed by my methods here. So I also use a secondary towel to kind of use it as like a catcher for the water. I don't even know how to explain it properly. But I hold whatever area of her body with a towel so that when I blast her off with the velocity dryer, it really gets on the towel, and that helps out with drying time surprisingly really well. It's a recent technique I've started using, and it's cut down my drying time by about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes for most dogs. So really depending on the dog and the coat. It also helps keep the van a little bit more clean and minimize a lot of the fur flying around too. But once again, Shelby completely unimpressed, and you can kind of see there was a cotton ball in her ear right there. And I am done drying her. I'm sure she's very happy about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the cotton balls from her ears. There we go. Yeah, see, gotta make sure that our little pups have hearing protection just like we do. She does a good shake. She's debating whether or not she's going to curse my family. Now she's a little bit happy. I think she got a little excited because there was a treat involved at this point. She usually doesn't take treats until right after the appointment's done, but then of course I started touching her and she goes, "Don't touch me, peasant." She hates me. I don't know why. I love her so much and I treat her with so much love, but she just despises my existence in the best way. So then I give her a good brush out. I turn her around, and she's so well behaved, to be quite honest, that I sometimes don't even keep a grooming loop on her, as you can see right here, and it's just easier to turn her around without it. She just stands perfectly still. She doesn't run. She doesn't try to jump off. She doesn't try to escape. She just lets me do whatever, even though she's she's relaxing into it. See, she likes being pampered. She starts falling asleep a lot of the times at this part. I have had to catch her once or twice before she fell over on the table because she was falling asleep. So at some point or another, she has to start liking it because she does seem very relaxed by this part of the appointment. And then I give her a good belly shave. Mom and Dad like the belly shaved really, really short, especially since we live in Texas. So I do give her a good belly shave and sanitary shave. And then I take a guard comb on the insides of the legs, mainly for sanitary purposes. It's not noticeable in the back, so it's not like it looks like I took a guard comb too much inside her legs. But this just cuts out a lot of scissoring time and also keeps her sanitary. And then I graze a guard comb on her rear. So this is basically just to get the silhouette or the general shape of what I want. I do use a guard comb to do it. I know some groomers are better than me and can use a 10 blade. Bless you guys. I don't know how you have the confidence. I will never be that confident. I've been doing this for 13 years. So I take a guard comb to it myself, and then I hand scissor. And I usually, if I'm going to do a silhouette, I guard comb everything. I kind of want to take a good chunk of it off. And then after that, I go back and scissor. But for her, I just really mainly guard comb her back legs and her haunches. Everything else is hand scissored, including rounding out her feet, getting between the toes. We do like to try to minimize seeing a clear separation between the toes. So we try to keep more of a teddy bear feet look, but I do trim up between her toes to make sure she doesn't get any matting or anything crazy going on back there. And I use thinning shears, curves, I use an array of tools, and then I comb her out as I go along as well. I also trim up around her face and ears to kind of just blend everything together. And then I give her another good brush out, make sure I got all the tangles out. And that's me being done, putting some more perfume on her so that way she smells delicious. She's now she's getting perked up. I mean, yeah, she's mad at me, but she's getting perked up because she knows it's about treat time. So she sees me grabbing some treats in her collar at this point, and so she's getting a little bit excited. But at first she knows. What's interesting is that I keep the same routine for a lot of my dogs. So when they see me pick up certain things, like if they know I'm getting to their head, if they know I'm picking up a bandana or bow, they know that the appointment's pretty much done. So I put the bandana on her, and then I kind of brush it out so that you can still see the bandana, but it doesn't look like it's choking her or anything like that. And there she is, all done in all her beautiful glory, still despising my every move, but treat time! Her favorite time. So these treats I get at Costco, they're freeze-dried liver treats, but here is the finished product. And so thank you guys for watching. I love you, Shelby.